friends and followers. My name is Fernando Cosme, founder and president of Lovedub.org. I'm here to officially share some good news with you today. Approximately 1 year ago, on February 14, 2014, Lovedub was founded by myself and 3 of my closest friends and relatives. Margaret Bowani, our co-founder, spearheaded our message in New York City, Stephen Cosme and Yamile Cosme working out of and giving support to our South Florida operations. We all worked tirelessly to launch and establish our brand into the consciousness of the national conversation of organ donation awareness and registration through blood drives, participation in national 5K events, donor registration drives, and constant use of social media to drive our message and inspire new friends, followers, and knowledgeable organ donor registrants. In our first year, we personally enrolled over 130 organ donors to the state of Florida organ donor registries. Margaret Bowani assisted the New York Organ Donor Network to register numerous donors and volunteered her time and efforts to them in support. We personally are responsible for the direct influence of hundreds of others who were inspired by our messages and registered in other states, many of whom would send us evidence after registering. Since day one, Lovedub.org sought only to bring attention to the cause of organ donation awareness and registration to bring hope to those in need of life-saving organs and education to those who haven't ever been a part of the conversation. As many of you know, my personal motivation and drive behind this effort was that I was a heart failure patient waiting on the transplant list for over 5 years. My future seemed uncertain at times, and I felt that at the very least I could leave a legacy that didn't end in a story of despair, but the renewal of hope and positive life views and structures for those in possible end-stage failure. With all my troubles, I hoped to continue to prove to you all that I was still alive. I have been battling disease since the age of 29. I am now 40. I am a cancer survivor. I waited over 5 years on the transplant list. I lived with a hardware LVAD for the last 2.5 years of my life and had many difficulties and obstacles along the way. Each time overcoming these obstacles with a greater renewed sense of will and vigor to survive. Fast forward 1 year later, Lovedub.org celebrated its 1 year anniversary, and approximately 10 days later, on February 24th, 2015 at 11:08 p.m., I received a phone call I thought would never come. Teresa Bueno, my transplant coordinator with the cardiac team at Memorial Regional Hospital, gave me the good news that a donor heart was made available and that I should report to the hospital immediately. I have had a remarkable recovery immediately out, but the path to total recovery will be a lengthy one as new obstacles are expected to arise. But all will be handled just like in the past. I am grateful and thankful to my donor and the family. I'll see through it that this heart is taken care of the rest of my days. Lovedub continues its mission to support organ donation awareness and registration through continued community events and efforts. I'd like to thank again my co-founders, Margaret Bowani, Stephen Cosme, and Yamile Cosme, for their commitment to see this venture come to fruition and continue to count on their support from an honorary advisor perspective. I would also like to congratulate our new directors for the 2015-2016 year, Anaí Arrego of Miami, Noel Paulino of Miami, Nakisha Almodovar in New York City, Yamile Cosme, and myself as the continued directors who are all bringing refreshing and unique energy to continue driving our message of hope. I'd like to thankfully recognize first and foremost Dr. Dimitru, my cardiologist at the Memorial Regional Hospital, whose mannerisms and sincere and loving interest in all of her patients' care gave me light and vision when I thought I was going to give up. Secondly, my new best friend for life, Dr. Enrique Gongora, who worked tirelessly for over 13 hours to seamlessly transplant my new donor heart. I also need to recognize the LVAC coordinator nurse who supported me like a friend and the patient for 2.5 years, starting at the Miami Transplant Institute and ending at Memorial Regional Hospital. Maritza Rossini, I thank you for helping save my life. There were plenty of players in my success, such as the tireless efforts of my earlier nurse at the University of Miami Hospital, Martha Vallon, ARMP. If it were not for her, my battle with heart failure would have been over early in its initial stage. Her self-compassion in an otherwise cold and troubling situation launched the survivor you see before you today. I'd like to thank Dr. Hirschberger, who is now currently at the University of Ohio, Dr. Pham in Baltimore, for implementing the hardware LVAD that has kept me alive. Dr. Chaparro at the University of Miami for her care, and all the staff at the Miami Transplant Institute. To my new family at the Memorial Regional Hospital, it was a ray of hope the day I heard that you were joining the mission to assist the transplant community to save many more lives in South Florida. The culture of service at Memorial is like none other I have experienced anywhere. All the staff members, regardless of duties, offer world-class service and attention to everyone who enters. Immediately after transplant, it appeared everyone in the hospital was excited, and everyone who could would come and get a glimpse of me and share their kind words. This had me wanting to walk out of ICU in 3 days, and I did. I knew I was alive, and that, with Memorial, I was definitely going to be okay. Finally, I'd like to thank all of our supporters. Our events are a place to have fun and share quality of life. The sidebar message is our cause of organ donor awareness and inspiration, which you can grab or give from my story. Thanks to Hector Cifuentes, owner of the Cutler Bay Sports Bar, for his endless and continued support of Lovedub and as a friend to my family. Thanks to Isaac Soto of Pennsylvania for being wherever I needed him for moral support. Thanks again to everyone, and let's make this year a greater one than lovedub.org. I'll leave you with a special video on how Act 2 of my life got started. Fernando Cosme, President, Lovedub.org.